Welcome back to Steel Mountain Moto. We're working away. We're going from musty, dusty, crusty to pure chrome. We're making this baby shine. Jolene, our 1997 Road King, is coming back to life. We're getting it all prepped and ready to go. We're going to take you through what it takes, the products we use, and the processes we go through to make this baby shine back to its original condition, or as close as we can get it. So stay tuned, guys. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. Step 1, elbow grease. You need a lot of it. Step 2, steel wool is going to be your best friend in this project. So we have quadruple 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 steel wool. Okay, very fine. It's not going to scratch your chrome, and we are going to utilize our good friend, which you wouldn't think would do this for you, WD-40. That's it. That's all it takes. We're going to spray it on our chrome. We're going to start to clean it up. I've already sprayed this down a little bit, but you'll see I've just started to kind of push away, and you'll see we've got these little bubbles of chrome here, or rust, and I can just go over top of that and it goes away. Okay, so when I do all of this surface, I'm going to be able to clean all of this up. Once we get all of the pitting, the rust, the grime off of it, you'll see we've got a little scratch here. Maybe it was laid down. We found some scratches on the other one, but I'm just going to get into that a little bit more with that elbow grease. Another component I can use is either a brass brush, okay, and it has to be brass for using chrome, or a green Scotch-Brite. These will not scratch your chrome, okay, but you do need to be careful that you're not using this on other heavier metals other than this. So I can take this brush and I can work it in, and I can actually get that rust out of those scratches. So we work away for a little bit and we get her back where she needs to be, and then we'll get into polishing. That's going to get our chrome where it needs to be. As I'd mentioned, WD-40 is going to be your best friend. It is quick. It is somewhat painless. I did take a few minutes behind the scenes to wipe this guy down, and then I just took a microfiber, and I'm just going to clean off as much as the residue as I can get off from the WD-40. So, decently clean, not so bad, right? But it could be a lot better. So, what we do have is our next step, which is Mother's mag and aluminum polish. Now, we did our research online, and this actually was one of the best rated polishes, waxes, whatever's out there that really did the work. So we're going to make this a little bit easier. Again, you do not have to use power tools. There's enough guys out there that are doing this all by hand. I'm just going to smush this on, okay, kind of get everything covered. And then I'm going to take it over to our polisher. What I've done is I've taken Marcus's polisher that he's used on the tank and what he cleaned Jolene up originally with, and I've just put it in my bench vise. Again, this is just a wool pad. These are usually white when you get them. And we're just going to kind of expedite the process a little bit. You probably saw how many pieces we have to do. So we're trying to do this as quickly as we can and try to get the best finish we can. So I'm going to start into this and see how nice and shiny we can get it. Buffer. Not too shabby. We do our final little wipe down. And she's pretty shiny. So, you see what we've gotten done so far and how many pieces there are. We have a whole lot more to go. So, a little bit of steel wool, elbow grease, WD-40, brass wire brush, a green Scotch-Brite, and then finish it off with some polish. And again, you can do this all by hand. It's just going to take you a while. But we've gone through all of this. We're going to keep going. We've got more pieces to do. But I think next step, I think we get into the lowers. We're going to try to clean those up, and this is going to take a little bit more finesse. We're going to try to utilize some of our sandpaper and take us through the process to refinish those fork lowers. So let's get into that. So we have here one of our fork lowers, one of two. They're in pretty rough shape. They've got a lot of schmutz on them. You'll see we've got some axle grease coming out the bottom here, maybe fork oil. Who knows? But we are going to try to bring these back. Now, This, I believe, is a polished aluminum. I don't think we're going to get it back to the same shine that we get on our chrome, but we are going to try to polish these guys up. Now, this aluminum does have a grain to it, and it actually is going horizontally, right? So if the fork was sitting here, it's actually going this way. So we're going to ensure that we're going to keep with the grain while using our sandpaper and all of our buffing. We're going to start to try to clean it up with, again, the WD-40, our 4-0 steel wool. We're going to get into that and see how clean we can get this. And then we're going to probably start into that higher grit sandpaper and then finish it off again with the mother's polish. So time to get into this. I think this is going to need the most amount of work. Let's see how it goes. So you'll see here that I am going with the grain of this aluminum piece here. So again, we're going left to right. I'm not scuffing up and down. The other thing to note is this is soft, so we don't really want to be using our brush here. The other thing I should mention, you'll notice that I am wearing an apron. The reason for that is this stuff is pretty disgusting, especially when you are using the polisher. All this stuff is flying off in your face, all over your clothes and what have you. So you do want to make sure that you keep yourself protected. Obviously, we're wearing gloves. They keep getting holes in them, but at least we're staying somewhat clean as we go through this process. But enough WD-40 on you, you will be as lubricated as you need to be. Showa. Made in where? Made in where? Where's it made?
It's made.
They just figured you don't need to know. Using my green Scotch-Brite to get a little more grit. See if I can get this oil and fork oil or axle grease or whatever is on here. Try to get this all cleaned off. Now, if you guys have any cleaning tips of how you get your metal where you need it to be, leave it down below. We did have one gentleman that had mentioned, actually, the brass brush came from a comment from one of our previous videos on the chrome polishing. We got a comment in terms of using T-cut on the paint from another one of our subscribers. So thank you guys for that. If you have any comments of things that are going to make our life any easier, or any of our subscribers, anybody in the community, it'd be amazing if you left it down below. Let us know what we're doing wrong, what you think we could do better, and we'll pass this on to the rest of the community. Okay, so first pass over with the WD-40, and let's just see where we're at. We got a little bit of glimmer to it. We got a lot of the stuck on grime off of there. But you can see just here, I don't know if you can catch that on camera, but we've got a little bit of a staining here. But all of this is coming along. I don't know if you can see it, though, as well, the actual grain that's in that aluminum. That is what you want to try to maintain. If you start scuffing it up and down, you're going to ruin the finish of the forks, and obviously it's not going to match left to right. It's going to look terrible. So make sure that you follow the grain. Okay, so cleaning up severely corroded, disgusting wheels. You've seen the wheels in our previous videos, and you haven't seen those yet, then go back and watch it. But you'll see they've got these pretty cleaned up. Now, I didn't use the same sandpaper that I used on the forks. I used actually this kit right here, and I bought it at our local hardware store. It has an 80 grit, a 120 grit, and a 220 grit. So I started out, I took the wheel, I took an acid wash cleaner, and I sprayed it, and I power washed, and I got as much grime as I could off, and I used a brush. Now, another tip here, if you're going to buy car wash equipment, like little brushes and different things, go to the kitchen section and buy yourself a little scrubby brush there. It'll be $19.99 and the exact same thing as $1.99, so save yourself some money. But I took all the big heavy-duty corrosion off, got most of the black off of here. I hit it with the 80 grit, then I hit it with the 120 grit, and then I finished off with the 220 grit, ensuring that I always follow the circular pattern of the rim. It took me 2 days to do just the rim itself. Now, 2 days, meaning probably 2 hours one night, 2 hours the next, and then I hit the belt wheel here. So that took a little bit. So this, I would say you should start with to refine your skills at sanding, because when we get to our fork tubes, it's a little bit more finite work. So this I just finished up. You'll see pretty glossy compared to the OG that is pitted, disgusting, dirty, what have you. Again, use the WD-40 to clean up the upper fork. Just did that. But you are going to start out with, again, going with the grain of this cast aluminum. I hit it first with the quadruple zero, so 4-0 steel wool and some WD-40 I started out with. And again, following the grain, going this way. Okay, then I hit it with a 1000 grit. Again, following the grain, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then went to a polish with the 2000 grit. And that has got us this far. Then I hit it with the Mother's Mag polish, and it has come out quite nicely. We do have a little bit of fading here, but our beautiful cowbells that I did previously will fit right over top of that and cover that up. So we got one more fork to do. We have one more wheel to do. Marcus is continuing on doing some polishing on the bag. And next, how do we clean our hardware? Why don't I show you that? Let's check it out. So one of the last things that you need to get to, and if you start buying bolts and washers and different hardware for your bike, you are going to be into hundreds of dollars. You'll see here, these bolts that are on the wheel itself are not brand new. We just clean those up. The easiest way that we found to do it is take yourself a nice little plastic container, fill it up to about yay high with white vinegar, and let them soak for 24 to 48 hours. This is the grime and the gross that came off of all of my bolts. They were able to get this clean. This is an exhaust bracket. These are some of the bolts, the bolt heads, and how clean they get. So, quick, easy way to do it. Throw all of your hardware into a vat of white vinegar, 24 to 48 hours. Hit them with your wire brush, hit them with your steel wool, a little bit of WD-40, clean them all up, and you've got all your hardware almost brand new. Some you might have to spend a little bit more time on, but you're getting those pretty clean. Just a quick, easy way for you to refresh all of those nuts, bolts, and different hardware so that you're not buying all new stuff.
All right, that is a wrap for today. We have done a lot of work, and there's still a lot more to go. We've kind of finished up most of the cosmetic work, and then in the next video, we're gonna get started on some of the mechanical. So if you haven't seen what we've done so far on this and where it kind of all started, make sure to click the video there to see our barn find restoration, and then we'll see you on the next ride. Peace.